My Dream of Heaven, Chapter 10, Part 1. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thy streets of pearl and gold are trod by the blessed feet of them we knew and loved of old. Their voices full of calm delight steal through the radiant air. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, our hearts are with them there. As the days passed, I found my desires often led me to the sacred lake, sometimes alone, sometimes with one or more of my own family circle, my revered father and precious mother, my dear brother and sister, and many beloved friends both within and without the bond of consanguinity. It was always to me an inspiration and an uplifting. I never could grow sufficiently familiar with it to overcome the first great awe with which it inspired me. But I found that the oftener I bathed or floated and slept in its pellucid current, the stronger I grew in spirit, and the more clearly I comprehended the mysteries of the world about me. My almost daily intercourse with the dear ones of our home life, from whom I had so long been separated, served to restore to me the home feeling that had been the greatest solace of my mortal life. And I began to realize that this was indeed the true life instead of that probationary life which we had always regarded as such. I think it was the day after my return from my first visit to earth that, as I had started to cross the sward lying between my father's house and our own, I heard my name called in affectionate tones. I turned and saw approaching me a tall, fine-looking man, whose uncovered head was silvery white, and whose deep blue eyes looked happily and tenderly into mine as he drew near. "Oliver!" I cried with outstretched hands of welcome. "Dear, dear Oliver!" It was the husband of my eldest sister, always dearly loved. "I did not know that you had come until a few moments since, when our father told me. It is delightful to have you here. It seems more like the old life to see you than any of the others who are here. We were together so much during the last years of my stay," he said, grasping my hands warmly. "Where are you going now? Can you not come with me a while? I was thinking only a few days ago how much I wished you could be here a little while before Lou came. You know her taste so well, and now here you are. So often our unspoken wishes are thus gratified in heaven." "Is my sister then coming soon?" I asked a little later. "That I cannot confidently say, but you know, the years of the earth life are passing, and her coming cannot be much longer delayed. Can you come with me now?" "Gladly," I said, turning to walk with him. "It is only a little way from here," he said, "just where the river bends. Lou loves the water so, I chose that spot in preference to one even nearer your own home." "This is truly enchanting," I cried as we drew near the place. "I've not been this way before." "I want you to see the river from her room windows," he said. "I know you will enjoy it." We entered the truly beautiful house, built of the purest white granite, so embedded in the foliage of the flower-laden trees that from some points only glimpses of its fine proportions could even be seen. "She loves flowers so much. Will she not enjoy these trees?" he asked with almost boyish delight. "Beyond everything," I answered. We passed through several delightful rooms on the lower floor, and descending the stairway, which in itself was a dream of beauty, entered the room he was so anxious I should see. I stopped upon the threshold with an exclamation of delight, while he stood watching with keen enjoyment the expression on my face. "It is the most delightful room I ever saw," I cried enthusiastically. The framework of couches, chairs, and desk was of pure and spotless pearl, upholstered in dim gold, soft rugs and draperies everywhere. and through the low window, opening upon the flower-wreathed balcony, so enchanting a view of the broad, smooth river below, that again I caught my breath in delight. 1,000 exquisite tints from the heavens above were reflected upon the tranquil water, and a boat, floating on the current, was perfectly mirrored in the opaline-tinted ripples. Far across the shining waters, the celestial hills arose, with domes and pillared temples and sparkling fountains perceptible everywhere. When at last I turned from this entrancing view, I saw on the opposite wall, smiling down upon me, the same divine face that I daily looked upon in my own room at home. We descended the stairs without a word. Then I could only falter, only heaven could give such perfection in everything. Oliver pressed my hand sympathetically, and let me depart without a word. Many months by earthly time had passed since that day, and many times I had visited that lovely home, and held sweet conversation with one I loved so well. I could suggest nothing that would add to the beauty of the place, but we talked of it together, and planned for and anticipated the joy of her coming. One day I found him absent, and although I waited long for his return, he came not. I had not seen him for several days, and concluded that he had been sent upon some mission by the Master. As I passed onward to our home, I met a group of happy young girls and boys of different ages hastening the way I had come, with their arms full of most beautiful flowers. As they drew near, I saw they were the grandchildren of my dear sister, Stanley and Mary and David and Lee and little Ruth. As soon as they saw me, they all with one accord began to shout joyfully, "Grandma's coming! Grandma's coming! We're taking flowers to scatter everywhere. We are so glad." End of part 1.